The World Development Report of 2021 noted that the innovations resulting from creative new uses of data could prove to be one of the most life-changing events of the era. New methods, these kinds of real-time methods are very widely used in the private sector, things like A/B testing, and yet in the public sector, still not generating evidence and using it as much as we could in real time.
I think going forward, we need to really think about how to do these evaluations quickly and respond when the information is required. Respond to the need at the right time. Many times we do a great job, undertake an evaluation, provide the evidence, very, very well received, but it comes too late when a decision has already been made. And so I think going forward, I know the advancement in technology, the use of big data and so on has now enabled data collection and surveys to be done more quickly and cheaper, but we still need to know how we can do these things better and faster.
You can think of this in terms of the digital transformation and governments that are sort of reinventing, taking responsibility for reinventing a government in line with the digital transformation. They're being innovative, and that has political payoffs immediately for them because they're seen as doing cutting edge work to improve government service. That was what we did at Beta. Like every new intervention that we work with you on comes with the randomized control trials. It wasn't the headline, the government wasn't signing on to do more RCTs. They were using this opportunity to be innovative with behavioral insights. The same with digital transformation. Every government is transforming to be better equipped to provide services digitally and communications digitally. And part of that comes with a new technology for A/B testing and rapid testing of communication strategies and choice architecture in online forms and so I think that would be kind of one recommendation for me, is to build in our emphasis on evidence into things that are very attractive for leaderships.
One piece in particular that's challenging, but I think exciting, is it emphasizes the potential for using administrative data more in the field. Obviously, that's something in the US context we benefit from more, perhaps less than you would think, but certainly more. And it's a huge asset in our work in the US government. It provides incredible opportunity for rapidly designing evaluations, implementing evaluations and learning, and having results in a more timely and policy relevant time frame. So it's not an easy challenge to invest in, build, and create useful and complex administrative data systems that can be a backbone for learning and evaluation, but it just offers such incredible potential in the years ahead.
If we really want to routinize the use of evidence, it is to ensure that information systems within countries actually are usable. Again, it's hard to get a policymaker to take evidence seriously if it's not coming from within their system. It's not something that they can ask questions of.
Part of that routine reporting that I think is now fallen out of favor. I think people are still investing in those systems for large programs. I think they just lack dynamism. They just lack the vision of someone going in there and saying, look, there's some juicy stuff here that you can actually, act on.
Right after school shut down in Botswana, Young Love tested a really cheap remote education intervention in 6 weeks and was like, what is relearning from this? Saw it cut in numeracy in half, and then went on to track to what extent those results persisted in time and in new contexts, and is seeing uptake in India, Kenya, and beyond. So I think that's just an example of how both relationships and new tools have played off in terms of new evidence as well.
Governments are realizing how little they know about their citizens, who their citizens are, how much they earn, what do they earn, who are our poor, and how do we reach them. This work we are funding in Togo to basically, to help the government quickly use satellite and imaging data to understand who the poorest of the poor are so that they can deliver these social protection programs to them.
Bringing down the barriers to using these new data sources, whether they're geo-referenced, so you don't need a PhD in GIS or you don't need a PhD in computer science or economics to do these, I think is a major public good. Certainly something we're striving for here, but I think much more generally, making these data much more easily downloadable, manipulatable, analyzable, and joinable across them is really essential. And in some cases that means building new tools, but in other cases that just means better harnessing, whether it's cloud-based computing or other, parallel processing that already, capacity that already exists. All of that we really have to kind of put to good use.
As policymakers have more exposure to diverse methods and tools and opportunities, they can be on the lookout for these sorts of opportunities for learning. Of course, every researcher wants to get a call from a policymaker to say, I'm about to run a large-scale lottery. Is that of interest to you? That's the phone call everyone wants to get. Or we're about to redo our administrative data system for our education system in the state. Any interest in helping us think about fields and data linkage? That's the call that everyone wants to get. And I think the more that we think about ways to engage and share this with policymakers, it increases their opportunity to play a role, to identify places to plug in and to really kind of help drive this work.